Just here a little bit, make sure everything's good. Today, we're going to go over quite a few things. Main topic being how to get a job uh, with an MSP as an IT support, fresh out of college, maybe with no college experience, but for sure, fresh out of college with certifications. Give us a second here. Meanwhile, please, Marco, introduce yourself.
I am Marco Alcala, the CEO of Alcala Consulting. We're getting a feedback. That's gone.
Okay, sorry, reintroduce yourself, sir.
I'm Marco Alcala, the CEO of Alcala Consulting. We're a leading managed IT and cybersecurity services provider in Pasadena, California.
Got you. So again, topic today, how to land a job in 2022 with a managed service provider as an IT tech. So what can somebody do fresh out of college to get a job with a managed service or IT service provider, excuse me?
Well, they need to do a couple of things, but let me start by saying that working for an MSP, a managed IT services provider, is not for everyone. Because the technicians that work for an MSP, they're dealing with so many different clients, and there's an expectation from the clients that they need to be world-class IT operators.
Right.
So this job is a good fit for those people that like to learn all the time, and they like to operate at a world-class level. So in terms of what they can do to get a job, well, the first thing they need is customer service skills. It has to be in their DNA to want to help our clients, and they have to be friendly on the phone. They need to be polite at all times, and they need to speak plain English and understand it, so they cannot talk in technical jargon, right? So basically, clients don't want to hear about IP addresses or subnets and things like that. You know, they just want plain English. And the second thing they need to do is they need to have the technical skills. So even if you've never worked in IT, there are things you can do at home to prepare yourself to land a job with an MSP. And here's what I would do. You know, I would set up a network at home with virtual machines and learn about DNS, learn about subnetting, learn how to troubleshoot connectivity problems, learn how to remove malware from systems, how to set up like an Active Directory server in a virtual machine. This doesn't cost any money as long as your computer has enough memory. You can download free software from the internet to load virtual machines like VirtualBox or VMware Player. And you can run evaluation versions of the software where you can run it for free for 60 days, not 60 days, 6 months rather, so that you can learn how to use the software. And so when you come in for an interview, if you got your networking fundamentals down and the client, the interviewer sees that you have a foundation of networking already there, something that they can build upon, chances are that you're going to have an opportunity a pretty good opportunity of getting the job.
Right. And just out of the top of your head, I mean, what are a couple main things that, you know, let's say if somebody is super interested in IT and they haven't gone to school yet and, you know, or they're currently in high school and they're already wanting to learn about this because, again, you know, kids are the future. That's who you're going to eventually be hiring soon again. Obviously, you want people with more experience, but, you know, for the up-and-comers, what would you recommend them to, you know, start learning on for right now?
Well, pretty much what I said before, right? They need to set up virtual machines and their computers at home and start playing with them. Because if they start setting these things up themselves, they're gonna internalize the knowledge. So they're
Right.
gonna feel comfortable working with that technology. And that's a pretty good way of learning something that is new. Practicing with it, and the more they play with it, the better they're gonna get at it. That's what I did in the beginning. I mean, I set up computer network in my house before I did any IT work. And once you set it up and learn how to configure the entire network, it just eventually becomes second nature.
Got you. Well, that's great. Let's go ahead into the next topic. What can they do to ensure they are efficient in their position that they get hired as?
Okay, so let's say that somebody gets hired as a level 1 technical support technician.
Okay.
So they're gonna have to learn how to use the tools that the MSP uses, the remote management and monitoring tools. They're gonna learn about security best practices. They're going to learn how to follow standard operating procedures to deliver consistent results to clients, especially onboarding and offboarding new employees for our client. And they're gonna learn how to use the professional services automation tool that the MSP uses. They'll learn about documenting resolutions to the service requests that they're working on. And having good documentation is what is going to allow them to excel at their job, because next time they or somebody else in the team gets a service request that they worked on before, it'll be all documented for the next person to solve it quickly.
I love that answer. What can they do to get ahead or promoted as fast as possible as a level 1 or level 3? What would impress you as a CEO?
Somebody who's taking increased responsibility in learning more about cybersecurity and more about advanced IT configurations for servers or the cloud or networking. If they're continually learning and they can take more responsibilities in more complicated projects, and they're also able to help their team members so that everybody does better as a team. And that's something that really helps them get ahead.
I love that. And then, what do you do as for yourself as an owner? What do you do to help develop your employees professionally?
So what we do is we find out what their interests are. Some of the people that work for us are interested in cybersecurity more than anything else. Others are interested in infrastructure. Some are interested in the cloud. So once we've determined what they're interested in addition of everything else that they're doing, we throw projects their way that are going to allow them to learn more about what they're interested in. Like if a guy or a gal is interested in cybersecurity, we'll throw more vulnerability assessments their way, or remediation projects, or security configuration projects, so that they get to internalize that knowledge and they get better at it every day.
Wow. And can you tell me about a couple of quick success stories for past employees of yours?
Of course. Let me see. The first one that comes to mind would be Saul. When he started working for us, he had graduated with a degree in computer science.
Okay.
Or network information systems, rather.
Right.
But he hadn't worked in IT before. However, he had some networking fundamentals already down in his head. I remember asking him subnetting questions that he answered without having to look that up. He calculated the subnet masks in his head.
Right. That's
And
awesome.
he knew everything else I asked him. And I also could tell that he would be very good at customer service. I could just tell from the way he talked. And of course, you know, we do a psychological profile assessment with all of our candidates to find out if they're fit for customer service. And he did, he was a pretty good fit for that. Well, he was with us probably for about 3 years. And he kept taking more responsibility until he was dealing with servers and complex infrastructure. By the time he left, he was able to get a job with another MSP dealing with even more responsibility. And from what I understand, he's doing very well and he's very happy. Another success story would be Hike. Hike was working for somebody that didn't appreciate his good ideas.
Right.
Basically, Hike would come to his boss and say, look, I want to implement this in our IT department so that we can improve this area. And if it wasn't his boss's idea, the guy would say no to Hike. And I remember telling Hike, well, if you come to me with good ideas, I'm going to say yes. Right? I'm not going to stop you. Well, eventually we hired Hike, and he did come to me with a lot of good ideas. And I kept saying yes. I remember him telling me one day, it's like, Marco, you can tell me no from time to time. I go, well, you know, Hike, you've had a lot of good ideas. I'm not going to say no to good ideas. They make sense to me. Let's move forward with that. And he kept taking more and more responsibility on.
Yeah, I remember he was lightning fast when he was on the phone with clients too.
He was amazing. He is still amazing. And so he was with us for 6.5 years. By the time he left, he got a job as an IT director. At this point in his career, there isn't anything in terms of cybersecurity or IT that he's not going to be able to make an informed decision about, or anything that he's not going to be able to handle. So that's an impressive success track record that he achieved with us, and you know, I'm going to watch his career with great interest going forward because I know he's going to do great things.
Absolutely. And just last off too, just because I think this is the greatest part of, you know, ACI Alcala Consulting, the exposure that, you know, your technicians get in the quote unquote small company as opposed to other MSPs. Talk about that a little bit for, you know, anybody that's interested of our viewers, with the kind of exposure that you get, you know, working with this kind of company.
Well, basically you a variety of different systems. You know, you get to learn about cybersecurity. You get to learn about the cloud, hybrid cloud. You get to learn VMware, Microsoft, Linux, Mac OS, pretty much everything under the sun we touch because we have so many different clients. And they get exposure to all the different applications that clients use. So our guys know way, way more than an IT guy working for a single company that just has a single network and just one server. And it doesn't matter if it's 200 workstations. Our guys touch so many different networks in a variety of industries that they work with that they know a lot more than your average guy.
You heard it here first, you guys. You know, how to get a job in 2022 with an MSP with a couple cherries on top for you guys, success stories and much more. For any of you guys that are interested in a complimentary evaluation to show you what's going on with the back end of your data for owners, you know, potential prospective clients, you know, reach out to us at 626-449-5549. Again, 626-449-5549. Email us at info@alcalaconsulting.com, info@alcalaconsulting.com. Again, information is power. don't withhold yourself from information, especially you owners, because, you know, everybody can't do everything. There's a reason why you have a team. Assign a cybersecurity team ASAP. Do not suffer from malware attacks. They're happening every day, and they're happening when you least expect it. Thank you so much. You have tuned in with Pasadena's Wolf and Mr. CEO Marco Alcala. Leave him off with anything you'd like to leave him off with, sir.
If anybody's interested in a career with an MSP, just check our openings under the careers section of our website at alcalaconsulting.com. That is ALCALA consulting.com. Thank you.
Thank you so much, you guys. Much love. And again, thank you for viewing. We appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts. We'll talk to you guys soon.